No. My question is that also a reflection on the, because he did not appoint himself special advisor, did he? He did not appoint himself to the position in the APC. So if you are saying all these things that are despicable about the character of Daniel Bwala, is that not a reflection on the person who appointed him, on the party who appointed him?
No. Daniel does not go to the United Kingdom to discuss policy. He went there to redeem his image as a liar. As a staunch liar and image destroyer. He went there to redeem. If you need anything about the government of APC, you talk to Bayo Ononuga or you talk to Sunday Dare.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on where you're watching us from, you're welcome back to BMS channel. Something interesting is just happening in Nigerian politics. After Daniel Bwala have that head-to-head interview on Al Jazeera with Hanson, guys, Daniel Bwala is not really finding it easy, as something interesting just happened in Nigerian politics this morning. And honestly, it was one of those moments where you just sit back and say, today go long. Let me begin with an APC chieftain who came out on national television, News Central, and practically finished Daniel Bwala on live television. Yes, finished him on live television. And if that was not enough, another voice entered the conversation. Let us listen to this APC chieftain first before we look at the next voice that entered the television.
Daniel is nowhere to be found. Daniel is in Atiku's house in Abuja, taking tea, eating bread, concocting lies against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling staunch lies against us, telling us that we are bootlickers. So he went there. Bayo Ononuga is the spokesperson of the president, of commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So Daniel is not the spokesperson. It's a policy, and those policy statements needs to be signed and vetted by Bayo Ononuga. So he went there on his public fury as a liar, a staunch liar, who does not have any iota of reputation. If you go to his village in Borno State, there's nobody. Ask the incumbent vice president. What this same guy, Daniel, has said about the present vice president, who comes a former governor of his state. So because the boy wants to get relevant to the national prominency, so he believes that saying things that is not true, blatant lie, saying jargons about people's character is the best way. And good for him, he's able to find his way into the presidency. By saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu created a militia.
You haven't answered my question, Dr. Oshinowo. You haven't answered my question.
Why do you want to take me there?
No. My question is that also a reflection on the, because he did not appoint himself special advisor, did he? He did not appoint himself to the position in the APC. So if you are saying all these things that are despicable about the character of Daniel Bwala, is that not a reflection on the person who appointed him, on the party who appointed him?
No. Daniel does not go to the United Kingdom to discuss policy. He went there to redeem his image as a liar, as a staunch liar and image destroyer. He went there to redeem. If you need anything about the government of APC, you talk to Bayo Ononuga or you talk to Sunday Dare. These are the guys that are in charge of public communication that will convey the stand of the government to the Nigerian people and the world, not Daniel. Daniel went there. You know, he likes to shop around the studios, like going to Shemo Kumbaloye, lies and, So this boy, don't let us focus on this boy, Daniel Bwala. Let's focus on what this government is doing. How can you be discussing Daniel? Who is that? Do you know Daniel 10 years ago?
So,
you don't know him. You don't know him anywhere.
I'd like to bring...
As this was still going on, this argument on Daniel's interview fallout, as it was still going on News Central, what happened again? Nigerians started uploading old videos of Daniel Bwala.
They try to question my loyalty. First of all, my loyalty to Atiku Abubakar is 100%, and everybody knows it on all camps. Secondly, my engagement in favor of Atiku Abubakar is way above every other person, including in PDP. And you all need to look at history and look at my Twitter engagement every single day. Thirdly, the case that we have in court against APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the case that I believe will turn out in our favor. The same way I believed that they were going to give live coverage, they never did, the court didn't. I believed that the double nomination was going to disqualify them, the Supreme Court did not. I still believe in the tribunal will prove our case. But one fact is clear, there will be 6 months minimum and 8 months maximum when this case will finally be determined. And within this period, somebody by our law has occupied the seat as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As patriots, we owe the nation the duty to preserve the Constitution and respect constituted authority. However, our respect for constituted authority does not in any way negative our opinion about our partisanship. So for the records, my congratulating Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima is not congratulation that is hinged on winning election, because we maintain the position we're in court to prove it, that this election was stolen and it was a conspiracy between the government then, the institutions of the state, and APC as a party. And this is a fact, in my view, that majority of Nigerian people hold till tomorrow morning. Even if the Supreme Court, as I'm just flying to the 8th month, even if the Supreme Court at the end of the day says that we have not proved our case, it will still not change the opinion that I have that the election was stolen and it does not reflect the wishes of the Nigerian people. But has Bola Ahmed Tinubu been administered the oath? Yes. Is he the president? Yes. Is he the seal of authority of the republic? Yes. Has he ever taken the oath of office as a president? No. So, congratulating him for taking the oath of office, in my opinion, with the greatest respect, does not in any way suggest that I have admitted that they won the election or that I have turned my back from Atiku Abubakar, and I hope that clears.
This one is very hilarious. Alright guys, as this is still going on, Segun Sowunmi, who then said something that sparked another debate. He said, journalists should not be asking certain questions. Now, just hold on. Because that statement alone has opened another serious conversation about journalism, politics, and accountability in Nigeria. So, today we need to ask one simple question. Should journalists be told what questions to ask politicians? Or is that completely wrong? This is what we are going to debate here, as this has sparked a lot of reaction. In fact, it's being debated on News Central. Let's hear your view. But before then, watch this video.
This morning to educate a cross-section of Nigerians who are talking down on that interview and also on Mehdi that is wrong. And I'm going to mention one. He's been here on the show. He's a PDP member, but of course, he's now an APC member because he's tilting between both. I'm talking about Segun Sowunmi. He put out a long explanation and said that journalists is wrong, that journalists do not need to do that you don't do that, you don't ask questions, that's an interrogation. Mr. Segun Sowunmi, if you're watching this morning, you are wrong. You don't tell journalists how they do their jobs. And let's educate everybody in the way of enlightening people. There are different types of interviews. So when we go out for training and train people, we tell people there are different types of interviews. There's an interview that, in quotes, is an interrogation. I'll give you an example. There's a show called Hard Talk.
BBC.
On BBC. That's what mirrors the same program you saw, which is Mehdi's program as well, which is Head to Head. There are programs like that. And you have similar program here on News Central, which happens to be our Politics HQ. You have programs where you speak with the person one-on-one. It's an interrogative style of journalism, where you have to milk the person, milk the truth out of the person, find the answers to the questions. This style did not start today.
No, it did not.
It started decades ago. It's a style of journalism.
So I want us to quickly head to you.
Journalists are not public relation officers for politicians. Their job is to ask tough questions, questions that ordinary citizens cannot ask directly. Imagine if journalists started asking only soft questions like, "Sir, how is your day going? Sir, how do you love Nigeria?" Or, "Sir, do you love Nigeria? Sir, what is your favorite food?" Then, what is the point of the interview? Journalism is supposed to hold power accountability, not what they used to do with Yesomike every end of the month, or is it beginning of the month? If a government official cannot handle tough questions, then The problem is not the journalist. Maybe the problem is the answers. And that is why many people are saying, Mr. Shehu, you are wrong on this one. You cannot tell journalists what questions to ask. Guys, what's your view here? Let's hear your view on the comment section. Remember, if this is your first time of watching our channel, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share our videos, and please don't forget to turn on the notification bell in order to be getting our updates.